Hello, I'm endeavouring to read out the Gospel readings in Latin each week, and this next two Sundays are big feast days, Christ the King and the Feast of All Saints. So I thought I'd combine these two as we have a busy week coming up after All Saints Day, so let's see if I can get ahead. Okay, so neither of these are explicitly in the book Images of the Evangelical Gospels, but the Christ the King, the Gospel, recounts a little bit of Jesus' conversation with Pilate. So this is mentioned, it does go through these sections, going through fairly blow by blow the details of the Passion. It's quite impressive if you want to look that up. But for now, if you're going to quickly go through this picture, so there'll just be one picture for this video, and then reading through the two Gospels, then the plethora of handwriting sheets that I've made. There's just today I decided to go crazy and do handwriting sheets. So yeah, you can sympathise with my children who get lots of handwriting sheets today. Okay, up on to Quae gesta sunt postquam reductus est ad Pilatum. Things that occurred after he was taken back to Pilate. So we only do the first couple of points here for the Gospel for this Sunday. So point A, you can see there's a A on the balcony. Renovator actio contra Jesum defendit Jesum Pilatus. So the case against Jesus is resumed. Pilate defends Jesus. Now, letter B is in the back room. You can see there's Jesus and Pontius Pilate in the back room as well. In medieval style, they show multiple pictures in the one scene. Pilatus reiectis Judaeis interrogat attentios Jesum de regno. So having cast out or rejected the Jews, Pilate interrogates Jesus with attentively about the kingdom, the regno, de regno. And Jesus responds per benigne, respondet Jesus Pilato per benigne, so benignly or kindly, obligingly in this translation. And then Pilate responds arrogantly, or respondet arroganter Pilatus. Actually, the Gospel reading stops just before Pilate's response, his classic response, what is truth, or quid est veritas. But we won't say that bit because that's not in the Gospel. Okay, but yeah, it's one of those famous lines. So here we go. That is the picture. That was really quick, wasn't it? The Gospel for Christ the King in Latin is the next bit. Okay, so I have not put in the accent marks. So you'll see in most missals, when they have the Latin, anything more than 2 syllables gets an accent mark. This makes it much easier for someone to read it if they're not really all that great on Latin. So it means anyone can read it. It's all in there. You don't really need to know the idiomatic stuff. There's only a few rules, and once you learn that, it's really easy to read Latin. Take my word for it. There you go. So the Gospel. In illo tempore dixit Pilatus ad Jesum, tu es rex Judaeorum. So on the screen, what I've done is just cut and paste from the Douay Rheims Bible online. So that's why it doesn't have the accents, and why it has this introivit ergo iterum in praetorium Pilatus et vocavit Jesum et dixit ei. So whenever you're adapting those readings to put them in the Gospel, instead of just cutting it verbatim out of the Bible, they put in at that time, who said what sort of thing, so you're not jumping in completely unawares. It's actually made to make sense, yeah. So people, yeah, you can understand Latin. Okay, so I've just said that bit. Anyway, this is the bit Pilate says, tu es rex Judaeorum. So tu, you, are the king of the Jews, which as a question is, are you the king of the Jews? Like in Italian, you just ask a question, you can use the same words. Respondet Jesus, atemet tipso hoc dicis. Respondet atemet tipso hoc dicis, an alii dixerunt tibi de me. So sayest thou this thing of thyself, so of thyself temetipso, hoc is this, dicis you say, Or if others, ali, dixerunt, if they said to you, tibi, of me, de me. Respondit Pilatus, numquid ego Judaeus sum? Am I a Jew? And yeah, this is something that would get lost in the English. The English just says, am I a Jew? But the word is numquid, which tells you that the answer is no. It's a rhetorical thing, but in the Latin, when it's saying it's a rhetorical question, but whether it's numquid or, should have done some more research. Anyway, numquid means the answer is no. Yeah. Numquid ego Judaeus sum? Gens tua et pontifices. So your people, your gens, and your pontifices, your priests, tradiderunt te mihi, betrayed you to me. Mihi is to me. Quid facisti? What have you done? This is a great line to use in everyday thing if you need to say, what have you done? Quid facisti? Respondit Pilatus. Respondit Jesus. Lots of respondits. So then Jesus responds, Regnum meum non est de hoc mundo. So my kingdom is not of this world. Mundo is the world. So it's not of the hoc mundo, this world. Si ex hoc mundo esse regnum meum. If, so si is if, from this world my kingdom was, then my ministers, ministri mei, utique decretarent ut non tradere Judaeis. Then my ministers would have prevented them, or would not have betrayed me to the Jews if my kingdom was of this world. Nunc autem regnum meum non est hinc. So now my kingdom is not of this world. It's not hinc, this. Yeah, hic, hake, hoc. It's all different ways to say this. Dicit itaque ei Pilatus, ergo rex est tu? So then Pilate said, so therefore you are a king? Respondit Jesus. Jesus responds, tu dicis, you say it. Quia rex sum ego, that I am a king. Ego in hoc natus sum. So for this I was born. Et ad hoc veni in mundum. And for this I came into the world, into the mundum. Et ut testimonium per hibeream veritati. And that I should give testimonium, for the truth, veritati. Omnis qui est ex veritate, so everyone who is of the truth, audit, hears, vocem meam, my voice, vocem's voice. So that's that gospel. Woohoo! So, this is the handwriting sheet where I have rex sum ego, I am a king. The words are in different orders, so I've matched up the appearance of the font, so you can see that rex and a king are in the same little bubbly font, and I and ego are in the dashed font with the arrows. Sum and am are in the same, it's plain, ordinary font. So I've got more on the back of that. Oh, that's a very small link, isn't it? Just says C-Rex. Anyway, we're on to All Saints' Day, which we have the Beatitudes. So I think it was just because this is the Beatitudes that I was so excited that I made all the handwriting sheets, because I would like my kids to know the Beatitudes. Sorry, I'm a bit laughing because I thought it would be really easy to find the next page, but it's one of those ones where you have to look on a different page. So it's as in the Common of Martyrs, page 942. Yes, and I got them. Okay. So using the missal for the accents. Yes. Oh, and here's another beginning. In illo tempore. So the text jumps in with videns Jesus turbas ascended in montem. Videns autem Jesus turbas ascended in montem. Okay. Et cum sedicet acceserunt ad eam discipuli eius, ad aperiens os sum docebat eios. Sorry, I'm starting to understand this, so it's harder to remember to translate. So Jesus seeing the crowds, turubus are the crowds, he ascended into the mountain, and cum sedicet acceserunt, and when he was set down, so sedicet is to do with sitting down, ad eam discipuli eius, to his disciples, ad aperiens os suum, so os is your mouth, so he opened his mouth to teach them. Docebat is to teach, or teaching. Beati, blessed, paupere spiritu. Can everyone guess what that is? Everyone know the Beatitudes? Beati paupere spiritu. Blessed are the poor in spirit. quoniam ipsorum est regnum caelorum, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Beati mites, blessed are the meek, quoniam ipsi possedebunt terram, for they shall possess the land. Beati qui lugent, so that must be who mourn, lugent. Quoniam ipse consolabuntur, for they shall be consoled, comforted. Beati qui esurient et sitiunt. Sitio is I thirst. Remember on the cross Jesus says sitio, I thirst. So sitiunt, those who are thirsty, who hunger and thirst. Justitiam, for justice. Quoniam ipse saturabuntur, for they shall be satisfied or saturated. Well, satisfied is the proper translation. Beati misericordes, blessed are the merciful. Quoniam ipsi misericordiam consequentur, for they shall find mercy. Beati mundo corde. Mundo corde. So mundo is the word for world, but it's also the word for being whole, the pure of heart, the clean of heart, according to this. Yeah. So there you go, you have to know your context. Beati mundo corde. Quoniam ipsi deum videbunt, for they shall see God. Beati pacifici, quoniam filii Dei vocabuntur. So blessed are the peacemakers. I like those, the makers ones. So lanifici are the wool makers, and I think there's another one for artifici. The fici on the end means the makers, because it comes from facio and making stuff. So pacifici is makers of peace. Pax is peace, which turns into patch in most of them. So pacifici. Beati pacifici. Where is it? Quoniam filii Dei vocabuntur, for they shall be called the sons of God, or the children of God. Beati qui persecutionem patiuntur propter justitiam, blessed are those who suffer persecution patiently for justice' sake. Quoniam ipsorum est regnum caelorum, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Beati estis cum maledixerint vobis, et persecuti vos fuerunt, et dixerint omne malum adversum vos. So blessed are you then they shall revile you, maledixerint. So benedix is to do with blessing, and maledix is to do with cursing. So when they shall curse you and persecute you, persecuti vos fuerunt, and speak all that is evil against you, dixerint omne malum. Malo is bad and bene is good. Adversum vos. Mentientes. So, mentientes, propter me. Oh, untruly, propter me, for my sake. Gaudete et exultate. So, rejoice and be glad. Quoniam merces vestra copiosa est in caelis, for your reward is very great in caelis, in heaven. So that's that gospel reading. Deo gratias. Okay. So, that is all the main stuff done. The handwriting sheet, this is the fancy one, Beate Pauperes Spiritu, blessed are the poor in spirit. And it goes, actually, I think that's a short one. There's not much more to that one. Yes, and then I got into the fancy copywork stuff, which the one on the webpage at the moment looks like this, which I'm not 100% happy with anymore. So I made 3 levels. So this was the first level with nice big letters, and you see they're not actually joined together. They just got the kicks to hint at where the words will be joined together. The next level up, copywork 2, is actually joined. Hope you can see that. Actually, and the writing is a little bit smaller, so I think there's 6 lines to a page or something like that. And then the last one, I think, is 8 lines to a page, and it's actually got the loops. So that's how New South Wales Foundation handwriting is supposed to work. You start with disconnected letters, then you add the little loops to show where the letters are going to connect. And you connect them, and then you put the loops in. And so that is what I have to offer. Oh, I also had a link back to an earlier video I did with Christus Vincit. Christus vincit, Christus regnat, Christus imperat. And a classic for All Saints' Day. So everyone, I guess for All Saints' Day, they're going to go to For all the saints who from their labours rest. And the arrangement by Christopher Wilcox is particularly one. It's one of the few pieces of sheet music I've actually bought And yeah, so will I get to play it this Saints' Day? I'm not so sure, but there it is for you to enjoy. So all the best. Happy Christ the King and Feast of All Saints. And if you're going to a Novus Ordo Mass, happy Feast of Christ the King for November. God bless. Bye.